My circumstance in this moment looks a lot different than it did just 7 years ago, where I was literally in fetal position, wanting to take my life, experiencing night tremors and night shakes, my whole body anxious, depressed, unaware of what I was made to do here on earth as it was in heaven. Though I was working in 2 businesses and a CEO, right? The glitz and the glam, the white picket fence, my husband, my 2 kids, outside in, looked really good, but the happenstance on the inside of me was dark and depraved. And so maybe you have mentors. Maybe you're learning from books right now. Maybe you're in the experience of a hardship, or maybe you're in a high point. Maybe you too are reading the Bible right now and you are clawing for some sort of truth. Maybe you don't hear God speaking to you at all, or maybe you don't even know who God is. Maybe you're just relying on your own gut or your intuition, and that too is a first step. But when we blend all of these things together, we recognize the resources that are at hand right now. You've had teachers who have poured into you. You've had perhaps parents or not that were present or not. There's something to learn from them. They too were mentors, maybe in what not to do. But if we don't blend all of those things together, when we think about hope and what's next, we're limiting the happenstance of the current moment. And we're limiting the truth of the plan that has been predestined for you for greatness, for goodness, for leadership, for provision, for abundance, for a life well lived, for all the things that you don't currently have and you still want. That's hope. Your rich eternity is still yours to create. You're still breathing. Chained to a bed in a basement, he was still breathing. In a room with no funds, in tons of debt, at 22 years old, he was still breathing. At 29 in fetal position, thinking that I had it all and let inside of me I had nothing at all, I still was breathing. But as I was discussing with my mastermind this week, we're sitting on a call and everyone was talking about business development and where they want to be in the next year. Hope. Happenstance. Currently, what ladder rung are you on? Everyone has a ladder. Everyone has a ladder. My question is, what foundation have you put it on to build the thing that you think you're meant to do? Maybe you don't see exactly where the ladder is ending. Maybe you're only on ladder rung 2 while you look to others in competition or comparison and say, oh, how are they so much farther ahead of me? They're younger than me. They're not as wise as I am. They don't have as many resources at their fingertips. They're lacking. You're judging their lack, or you're judging their greatness. But either way, you're comparing. And you've heard it said that comparison is the thief of joy, and that is true. But what's interesting about that is that their ladder could not be built on the right foundation. And so they've gotten to where they've gotten faster, but they don't have what it takes to keep going. And therefore, they're going to have to climb all the way back down to move the ladder. I had to do this personally. I was jumping ladder rungs after ladder rungs, and it felt like I was winning. Skylar Lewis felt the same way with some of the businesses that he cultivated, one of which was in high school. He was making more money. He was paying the bills for his mom in high school. He was helping an entire sales team generate their own money at 15, 16 years old. Now, Walt's situation didn't look as grandiose, and yet he was still breathing. And he was actually cultivating the foundation of his ladder before he started to do it, because he was relying on something and someone greater that was providing him breath in that moment.